We dey try as a country, we dey try as a nation, as a Ministry of Trade, we dey make sure say we dey try. Khadija, we don't pull most of the duties them per essential commodities. Rice, nobody need to pay duty, it's zero. Flour, nobody need to pay duty, it is zero. We don't reduce corporate.
They pay duty.
We don't.
But then they pay duty,
so,
Mr. Conteh, but still prices then they go up on
agreed. So we need to do a detailed diagnostic. We need to do a detailed audit. Let we ask ourselves introspectively, because we want for what are the try for sure now waiting governments don't do, because people they say governments
so
not do.
Need to do
no, let me just finish on this point. On essential commodities, NRA only they take 12% of its contribution, because we don't pull all the tax them around this.
So what are the problem here? Because if government they pull all the taxes on essential commodity then, but then same commodity then the way people and they use on a daily basis, they go up every blessed day. So what are the problem now?
Beautiful. Yuna Umar Wege says. So let we look at the supply chain. So the one way where they import, they bring and come. We get people and when at the dealer them, where they take from this person, it go wholesale. Then it get to the retailer there. In between, we get transporters them. All of them people here, they put them price there up.
I feel say the ministry now still able for come out clear and tell me why the goods then our market go at a very high rate, even with all the exemptions the way they give. We live in a free market economy, I agree. But it's very, very much difficult for the everyday man to understand why, even with the tax exemption where they put, or let's say the waiver where they give on people who import rice, but we still get the rest price they go up. Today the rest price, one bag rice is about 300 and going to 350 or so. It's very, very much, and that is where I feel say the Ministry of Trade need for actually double effort, because there is no reason for the Ministry of Trade exist if we continue for to get the challenges we get in the market every day.
And welcome to another edition of the program Good Morning Salon for this week, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Today na Thursday, September 2nd, 2021. We were the being the program come to you this Thursday morning. My name na Khadija Bangura.
And me na Wani Gauja. Inside the program this morning, Radio Democracy go look waiting responsible for make price per different thing them go up na the country every day.
Today na the program will tell you na one power headline then say we go can look at waiting responsible for make price them for different thing them they go up every day na the country. Well, for can talk about some of the issues there this morning at the studio. We get Moore Conteh, where na the Chief Director of Trade from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and serve in the professional head at the ministry. Good morning, Mr. Conteh, and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, Khadija from Bulauna Morning now.
And also we get the Executive Director for the Citizens Advocacy Network, where na a civil society organization where they advocate for different things them where they affect the citizens them. Moore Conteh are the Executive Director. Good morning, sir, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
All right, so now continue for day with we in the program. Before we can talk about some of the issues them where people think say responsible for make price them for tin them for each and other thing them they go up every day in the country. We they go first na statistics salon also every month, statistics can pull nado, then consumer price index. Also then they update the public but price them for different thing them if then they go up or they can down at the country. Maluma Andrew Gegbe, na the Director of National Account and Economic Statistics na Statistics Salon. He said the inflation rate for this year, July, don't go up from 10.2 to 10.5%. And one party thing them where he say cause this inflation, now because of the fuel price where he say don't go up. He explained more to we reporter Usman Kamara inside this interview.
Prices are one of the economic statistics where they change frequently. And if they change frequently, they usually go for track them frequently. I mean, at one time, Zimbabwe, they produce the CPI every week or every 2 weeks because inflation they change very rapidly. But I mean, the standard is that actually every month because you expect prices for don't change in a month, it will don't change. So you measure the price level, and it also measure the change.
As you say, every month on the pull the consumer price index. So for July, waiting happen.
July increase. I mean, we don't go back to the double digits. We're at 10.50. So I mean, we finally say prices they go up as well as the inflation rate they go up. The inflation rate and the change in the prices. So the prices not only go up, but the rate they go up also don't increase.
Now, the survey can target specific, commodities.
Yeah.
With like some of them, products there are way on the target during a survey.
We are talking about 436 items. And these 436 items is not just think of a product, but they are determined through a scientific means, a survey what they call the Israeli integrated household survey. Some of these items could be like men's dress, women's dress, food items like long grain rice, medium grain rice, imported, local rice, tomato. Just the common items the way we know say consumers the people people in Sierra Leone that they use more. But we not the way they determine that item is determined by the survey we will do. And those items are determined by the weight. The weight, then they tell you, say this item is important because the weight of that item is the importance of that item. So therefore, we can include it in the basket. There are some other items we consume in this country. But because they are not too important, too significant in terms of the expenditure size, we not include that in the basket.
All right. So, what are some of the key commodities we make the inflation rate go up?
Like the non-food items, they all increase. The transportation increase. Alcoholic beverages and tobacco increase. Housing and water increase drastically. Furniture, household equipment, and household maintenance increase drastically. There are other items will increase, but those are in the non-food items. Those are the ones that actually increase. In the food items, you have items that actually reduce. That is why in the food items, food inflation moderated because even though food prices increase, but it not increase much. The rate of increase, the rate of change not increase much. So you have things like palm kernel will increase, palm oil increase, but you have other items like will reduce in terms of like long grain rice increase but it stabilize. You have like fresh snapper it reduce, fresh herring reduce. It's a mixed item. Some increase, some decrease. So for food, it is 15.40 and a moderated.
All right, now let's look at the area them with this survey the target because we get western area, they will get the provinces. Mm-hmm. So this survey they cover all the Angola.
Yes, in western area we cover 6 markets: the Kuto Road, Dovcourt. In the south is 3, in the north is 3, and the east is 3. 3 markets in each of these in Bo, Kenema, and Makeni, and then Kono. Kono actually in every region is supposed to be one time, but the reason why we choose Kono. Price variability in Kono, we realize is a bit radical.
How you go compare upline and Freetown in terms of price?
In terms of price, we just realize that prices that go up in the provinces past year, and like I say, more is attributed to transportation because where price where fare go up, you can see where government they pull price. I don't want to call price control, but they say from Waterloo to here is this price list exactly saying that this is for pay. But who is going to talk about from Bo to Baima or from Bo to Senel saying that this is for pay? No, now the man will get must I get for the timing or the drivers union I get for the timing, so they can even increase prices more than how much the price increase go then higher. So that is what we realize in this time round, and then of course. Like somebody mentioned, which also is clear. It's true. The what you call the COVID aspect of it, especially when the third wave of COVID come. So that actually make people that steady small in one place, So that movement for go buy food, even though they're not completely stop with for inter-district, but that that social design could make people that say, okay, let me sit down first, but let me watch how this year don't get for be back. So that could also affect.
Right, that's na Malua Andrew Gegbe, the Director of National Accounts and Economics na Statistics Salon. If they talk inside that interview there with Usman Kamara, also if they talk about the Consumer Price Index, so them pull for June this year. Also I say from July this year, the price them of different in them go up from 10.2 to 10.5%. And some of the cause them way is say make this inflation go up. Now because of the fuel price where it say go up now the country. Well, for can talk about their issues there this morning at the studio, I want to welcome one more time Moore Conteh, where comes from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and in the Director of Trade at the Ministry, where in the professional head. Mr. Conteh, we don't talk about different issues them inside an interview the whole reporter do with statistics salon after we then been just pull then consumer price index so say according to Mr. Gegbe, he said they're gonna different parts them, talk to different market people them, and but 436 items then them be go look for the prices them. And they even give the inflation rate will go up from 10.2% to 10.5%. And statistics salon normally when they do this then consumer price index then can work closely with one the Ministry of Trade we now are responsible for make policy them and self try for put a control on different prices. Now we look at from the Ministry of Trade perspective, waiting on I think about the prices of things them will they go up every day in the country.
Thank you very much, Fambulem. Again, good morning, Salon. I'm glad for dinner, yeah. We don't see a steady increase in the prices of essential commodities. The CPI, when the Consumer Price Index, talks about mostly the retail prices of the commodities here. And as my brother mentioned, statistics they gather up to 436, weighed into two categories, basically food and non-food items. In the month of July, the report shows that there was a stability in the food prices, but the non-food prices then go up. And also the report shows because of the increment in fuel prices, transportation costs add to the prices of consumer products. Certainly, I want to just give a background of why this they happen. It's a global phenomenon, and Sierra Leone not in isolation. As long as you they in trade, you they do business with other people. Them, most of the things that we use in this country, we they import them, and because of that, it attracts costs. So we get what we call dependent and independent variables. Then one the way we get control pan, and the independent one them. The one that will not get control pan, and the dependent one them. So in the period, Khadija, most of what we bring come from abroad, what we call freight cost, has increased by 210%. So in mention, for example, let we take rice when we staple food. We get three primary destinations where rice they come up from. China, where most of the rice we eat they come up from because of consumer preference, the one that we like. We get Brazil, and we get India. Brazil at the moment gets serious challenges nationally as a country because of the COVID. Over the past 2 years, they've not been done the plant as much as possible. And then the cost of transporting rice from Brazil, very, very expensive, even though the destination very short. It take 9 days sailing time from the port of Rio to Port of Freetown. But the cost don't go over by 400%. So when you put all that in there together, and Sierra Leone as well, where you do the here, you need volumes. The larger quantity you get, the more you get. So for example, again, what our Lefambule know, the shipping lines them, we get limited ship them. Because of climate change, new regulations globally, Boku ship not there. So if the ship not gets the volume we want, they come. If you say I want 10,000, 15,000 metric tons for bring come, they get no vessel today for bring that quantity of good they come. And we own businessmen the way they buy, they know they buy in that larger number there. So what we don't do now for encourage them for come together rather than everybody they go as one. So we do bulk shipments now, meaning 2, 3, 4 come together, buy, put in a one ship and all. And we try for work on predictability for CC over time what we can do. So we increase order levels. So by the time where you order, you able to get vessel because you take them for look for them for come. But also waiting we get for handle na the one day way na the charges. One of the things the way they increase price na transportation cost. We all know say fuel price go up. And unfortunately, or fortunately, it ain't at the hands of the private sector.
All right. Will they come back to you, Mr. Conteh?
All right, the program now Good Morning Salon, where they can tell you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We still get Emmanuel Conjo, where now the Chief Director and Professional Head now the Ministry of Trade. It be they talk the reason the way make price of things then only go up, and you focus your attention about things them where they can at the country where they make the price instead they go up. Una also take into consideration of the local goods them. Let we take for example pepper. We don't go up to 10,000 euros. We don't not get anything for do with import and export.
Yes, we do. In fact, the issue with pepper gets seasonal variation. What we don't do, we don't understand the seasonal variabilities. So tending the way pepper they boku. The side way pepper they come out mostly. Now areas that were challenged by road network. If it's difficult for pull the pepper come, and you get to pay the Okada double or triple, the price of the pepper they go up. So the infrastructure around trade in itself, once it get challenged in certain seasonal times, price they go up. But we all know say this not the thing the time way pepper price they go up. What we need for do? So alternative solutions have to be looked at. So how do we process pepper? Where you go put in a tin, where you go able for keep them over a long duration, so you go to use them small. Rather than we go buy the pepper no more every day, we carry use them, the pepper price go up. Again, what this don't show to we now that policy-wise, we don't talk to agriculture say, we need for increase with pepper production. We need for bring other varieties of pepper. We not go just see, don't no more say, now the same way with the plant. Population size they increase, demography they shift, and plenty other variables they come into play. So we need to take all that into consideration. When the price high, it's always Ministry of Trade, but not to actually the plant.
Taking them things there so we don't outline so into consideration, Mr. Conjo. Now one. But the issue here is some of the things them where then they grow in the country, most people expect say they're not supposed for dear like how then they are. So example, palmine, when the pool come on, a lot forget about pepper now we they say na seasonal, although the palmine self na seasonal. Policies then they where una na the Ministry of Trade can put together normally and una can get collaboration with other line ministries them. Waiting them policy then they how effective they don't they work for ensure say they reach out to that ordinary farmer where they plant some of them things there, so where then they grow in the country, we're not supposed for the hike in price they carry this so now.
The policies then they work, and I'm glad the way you talk about palm oil. In fact, in the past 5 years, that sector, that industry did not change completely. Now we get major people where they plant and where they produce. Example, take Sokfin, largest in West Africa, largest producer of palm oil. Now, where them produce, what thing then they do? Then they support another industry when are the processors. Take Jolax, take Kisi industry where they produce vegetable oil, where they now. All right? All the other local farmers where we call outgrowers, where in the plants. It make more money for them, not for sell to the one where they go sell in the market, but for go sell to company. This not trade, not business. It is where the value is, where the product moves. Almost acreage without increase in terms of production. Several acreage. So the palm oil business is doing very well. Almost number of people where they export the palm oil now go to the US or go to the European market or to UK specifically. So, a number of people.
So Mr. because Conjo, if you say the policies them where Unana the Ministry of Trade they put together really they work,
yes.
Why the ministry not able to get control over prices aside of the imported goods them, the one that's even locally made. You can go to market today, you meet plazas, for example, 1,000 euros for Thai. The next moment you go to market, you see say the price don't go up drastically. Cassava leaf now, people in the bar up to 5,000 euros for Thai.
I'm glad the way you now bring this question. So you see, not to the Ministry of Trade in work than they for fixed price. What you really do, we create an enabling environment for let the market forces then come into play. When I demand and supply, we they attract the price. So that is what we do. But what we can help for do again as part of we work now for regulate. So we know the fix, so we dey regulate. So what we they do, we they bring out, say, okay, we do a price mechanism.
Even
say,
the regulation aspect of where you they try for base the argument, it seem for be weak because if you get that kind trend where is supposed forget, if self not able control the prices, but small stability supposed for the.
So let me take the plazas as you give us an example. Okay, so you say the cassava leaf. The person will go planting cassava leaf, he cut arm, he bring and kaiwasa, kind of market. You see, say 3 or 4 people and don't come by, and more people they come and he get 5 tie left. Because he get this 5 tie left, he rank come up by another 1,000. How do you regulate that? So we not go able for say we make a chart where plazas today now 2,000, 3,000. The Ministry of Trade can't do that.
You actually make mention of price where we not get control of, where means say salon they operate.
No, I not say we not get control of.
Like the way how they price their markets, we they operate on free market economy.
Absolutely.
Yes, people are really selling products, they determine the price of them products.
The market
And
forces.
So, yes, and the market forces. And so as Ministry of Trade, we are supposed to get trade monitor them, we actually for the go na the market and monitor waiting people in the sell and how then they sell them.
Yes, we do that. And we get daily statistics, we get daily reports on how the NTI they go. Again, we really need for get to scale. Example, we're in season day now so. Usai mide, a challenge for get water. During the dries, in the peak of the dries, I dey buy 1 batter water, 5 gallon, 3,000 leo. Where then go get for me. Now, I know they buy. Because again, availability, accessibility, and the seasonal variations. This is just to bring, to show a scenario of one product of waiting the season and other things that can come into it.
Economy don't they affect the market?
How the free market?
The free market, yes.
So it makes sure say the private sector they work, the private sector they thrive, people and they do them business. It's in an atmosphere where the demand and supply they determine the price.
All right, continue for day with we now the program. Moore Conteh, Chief Director of Trade from the Ministry of Trade and Industry. In case you just they tune in today now the program or they look at some of the things that we're responsible for make price them and different thing them they go up na the country. We they carry with Moore Conteh now, we are the Executive Director for the Citizens Advocacy Network. The organization don't they advocate for citizens them on different issues them where can embark the citizen them. Mr. Moore Conteh, you don't listen to waiting Mr. Conteh talk. He try for outline some of the causes them we make prices them they go up on different things the way people and they use from the citizens advocacy point of view. Waiting una think say na some of the reason them we make prices and different thing them for eat and safe things them where people are not can eat they go up now.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Conteh, to a very large extent, try for explain some of the factors we're responsible for inflation and the high cost of living. And I feel say we get multiple other factors where for be considered. Over and above the fuel increment, of course we know that fuel are a very essential commodity. We get strings attached to almost every sector, not only to the business sector. And when you consistently get increments in the price of fuel, it get attendant effects on every good within the market where they sell. Even the dimeting price they go up. So even the question we want to ask about the petty leaf, the granite who they make an aso, and the corn who they eat, they go up. And because that man with is plant in petty leaf, na Bendembu, you have a pull on the counter McKinney for sell them. And you have to give people where they work for them, you have to pay them according to the standard where they will appreciate looking at the high cost of living in the country. You have to pay transportation, you have to carry the market, you get small taxes, you have to pay in the market. Where you don't accumulate all of that, and all of them things has to they go up as the prices, as fuel commodities they go. It just get profit out of it. That is why even the local products will get in this country, they go up. But over and above fuel increment, I feel say we still get challenges for get sound fiscal policies in the country. One of the biggest challenges we get, we're not able to get it a very solid and sustainable financial management policy where we actually address most of the challenges that we get. Quite recently, the bank governor announced the redenomination of the currency. They say they want to change the currency of the country to small notes. One of the reasons we didn't get them say because they want for them to reduce the money they pass with, and for also boost the psychological state of citizens. Immediately after he announced that, we noticed the dollar price go up higher than ever in the history of this country. Even as we speak, the dollar price don't go up to 1.1 million some hundreds. Because the policy where he want for implement, don't scare a lot of people, and people that will get their money now decide for pull them, go to them now for go change them into other currencies, and the higher the number of people really go out for go do them things here, so you notice say the higher you notice say it creates some kind of inflation at the market. That of course fiscal policies are very, very much challenging at the country currently. We don't get series of them. And you look at also taxation, the issue of taxation at the country. When you put too much taxes on people, I've been in the provinces during the weekends, and I go to one of the guest house there with somebody they run. And I notice say the price we will plant pay, we will lodge at the place, don't increase. I ask and say, what's at the cause? They say we pay about 6 taxes every month. So they pay about 6 taxes. So you ever pay for environment, you ever pay for tourism, you ever pay NRE, you ever pay NACIT, you ever pay this. So when you hit that on the businessman, you left the businessman now for recoup whatever they lost from the post where they come in business center.
Earlier, I asked Mr. Conteh on the area of policies where then at the Ministry of Trade, we suppose for put some of the policies then together for ensure say they regulate in the area of prices. According to Rami, said they do and some of them policies then during they put together they work. You organization where the Citizens Advocacy Network most time don't they work talk around issues them where get for those policies and how government policies them can benefit the ordinary citizen. Sure. In the area of the Ministry of Trade, some of them policies them when they put together for regulate some of the prices them. You agree say them policies they are so effective?
I feel say the Ministry of Trade not able to forget a very clear strategy as to how they will regulate prices in the market. That is why you will go Sani Abacha Street, one shop, you ask for mayonnaise, and go tell it at this price. You go now the other shop, and will give price with different from them. You notice see people just they put prices for themselves randomly, and you get the effect on the people of the country where they go for buying at the market. But over and above the things that I feel say government spending as well. Excessive spending.
How that gets for do with price increase?
Definitely. When you look at the causes of inflation, excessive spending are one of the causes of inflation. When you spend more than what you get, you heap unnecessary burden on your economy. And you make start inside the staff. And when start inside the staff, the one that we get the little what they call it, they decide now for take advantage of the situation that they go. We notice when government take over policies and the way they put in place for ensure that they get the resources of the country in one account, single treasury account. But after that, we notice again say even when this single treasury account was established, a lot of burden was actually heaped on the account by way of increasing on the number of people within government circles. We have one of the biggest cabinets ever in the history of the country. You get excessive travelings, you understand? And all of them things here, so they heap unnecessary burden on the economy. And we also they get adverse effects on even waiting they happen at the state. You look at also the investment climate. The investment climate is not booming currently? Well, multiple factors will be responsible for that. So they will say maybe Corona will affect the world over because of businesses and how they operate. But even before Corona came, you notice a lot of investors, a lot of businesses will be operating in this country, they don't fold up.
All right.
As a result of multiple factors, again, as we will say, we get a situation where even government and SL mining they be in serious battle at the arbitration court, and then they scare away potential investors for coming. And when Mr. Conteh they say, we're not a country where they produce. We're largely dependent on waiting they come out. And when you're too dependent on waiting they come out, now waiting they come out, then things that they determine waiting will be the price with the scale of price in the market, and really also affects the business community seriously.
All right, continue for the with you in the program. Thomas Moore Conteh, in the executive director for the Citizens Advocacy Network. Right, we continue with the program. Good morning, Salon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Well, as we continue for look at some of the causes them, we make price for different in them they go up na market. Yesterday we reported Theodore Arena been go na different markets them and been talked to trader them, but waiting them things say make prices them they go up at the thing them when they sell. Well, then trader they also been raised concern for sake the way how prices then they go up.
Concern citizen. Actually, the way how the country they so right now is not pleasing to all man. And the way how we they buy first time to now all things don't change. Because when you go buy something at all, you owe small money, you know go able to buy all the way you want. Because of the thing that don't go up. Waiting at the reason for that they say the taxation and the ports, all that thing and the so we as citizens will not glad the way how the country they so right now because we hope for better.
Mina Seganyama. Well, even sardine self, they add, pig milk, they add, even sugar. Sugar will be buy and 3 something. Now we buy, I buy sugar yesterday 480. So all things don't go up. Even chingom self they buy. Chingom self don't go up. Even though they ask the people in the shop, then say tax don't go up, dollar don't go up. So we say we tell with them businesswoman they will tell because you know go the way you go buy market. Sometimes maybe we see you the care go na market say for go buy. Where you go, price don't change. Even I didn't shop yesterday, somebody they talk say so thing don't go up. So we begin tell the boys, see, you know for passing kind of information there. So we don't tire. We tire Papa government. We don't tire of this kind of thing. Let we not hide and tell nobody. Bama will be there buy 30 something. Now we buy 40,000, so we they sell 45,000. Even over tea, the all thing don't go up. Let we not hide and tell nobody. All thing don't go up. Your own soft drinks if you don't go up. What about the drink could be the ban 30 something thousand. Now they ban 38,000 inside motoka. So we self don't tire.
Just come on. Sabe even the rum self who they buy. We mind it say for laying heart rest, they don't go too bad. Now don't there. Even pega, we made that in not there. So they get 1,000, they get 2 pega, but now you know they get. If you say 1,000, you get another get pega again. So the drinks, now the drinks are now stouts, beer, more time, woody, all tea don't there. From Tiwaka, I know if you drink one drink. Use of money no day and the price don't go up, and I will buy which have you buy Saturday.
Well, the business way they now, the cassettes now don't go up. For sale, they buy and 3 for 5,000. They sell 2.5 they get small thing. But now the cassettes don't go up over 2,000. Like 10 lights card then Nigeria and 2.5 for one. Well, when they ask you wanted to get the business. They say business they go up, they empty. So the whole thing they go up. So nothing not to do with it, say dollar. Even the wonder way for try say get selling, no easy. Because when you meet the customer talk say, well, now this I get to. So because of usage we don't use with customer, no we pass the left hand gear. So till we can I also say so pass more. First of can we able get small thing. Well like that's why because now the cattle the empty cattle 800. That's more empty because now 800,000. Yes, I don't see inside the seller then 800,000. So imagine that first time they buy 400 and they buy 400, like the way they do the business for 5 plastic banana 500, 540, 500, then light plastic there. So if you go for the what is something they wouldn't use like for the poster, if you check all things they go not that would be the price. Government and therefore she don't set solution for the NTR. Because why? Now they got all things and they do the right and then they do everything. And this for she don't then do so and they just they make around with it because
probably like 2 months or 3 months ago, we are selling it, I think, 60, 65, 70,000, you understand? And that range they been there. Zinc, will be the sell colored zinc. By there, we are selling it 900. But now I don't go to over 1,100,000. You understand? Colored zinc. And then you get the plain one, will be the sell something like 750. Don't go up to 900. Nail will be the sell and something like a 280 for the cartoon nail. Now I don't go something like a 350 for nail. Well, basically, we don't want for blame government, you understand? Because we are importers then. We they get them thing they are from outside. And now with people that would get that this problem they basically the COVID will affect most of them factories them overseas. And as a result, they don't want to do business for come that far Africa. They don't mind self then sell some of them goods then they now the Asian countries them. You understand? Like the insurance we use for pay. For bring them thing and they are like 50% they don't add Panam. Other things then they bring in all of this stuff, you understand, where they don't charge exorbitantly. As a result, when we they suffer in getting those stuff, you know, to the destination, Freetown here. Ministry of Trade no call we, neither follow we dialogue or anything there. But they very well know what is happening, you know, as a result of everything. So probably then they on them they think of them, but we have not been called for like say let's go see how best we can able, you know, reduce the tax from Wataki so that we not self able, you know, bring down the prices then. For now we have not been called.
Local, this visa in 300,000 the seller. They'll get 2 new lock, about 300,000. We get Akima. That my log will be 150,000. Then we get Michelle, you know, 180. Quite over the selling Chadi, you don't change because of dollar business. Dollar to go up 24 hours. Any day when a new price, every day you go for buy a new price. We don't sell this 100,000. When you go for go buy, we need to do 10,000 per tap. So now losses for who they do the business. And the guy who they do business with the loss. We go on that losses better one because we don't sell locals the way we go. They say other price don't cheap. Pass we hard back for buy. So the customer will come out can buy them. Now price we buy now. We don't sell jam. We fix it. I don't see farm. Not $1 more now in the Wataki. So one container we come, we go so money for Pulang. So let's order container on Kai. If Pulang money you don't spend, na Wataki for cover losses the no idea if you can sell your business because you don't pay so money Wataki. You can don't have for sell business losses. That's for naturally do business.
Well, I sell electrical and plumbing. Well, it's like the plumbing them like them fits in there. Some of them they will be selling 1,500. Now some of them don't go 3,000 for one. Some of them they sell back 5,000, all of them don't go up to 8,000. So you see the difference there we don't put up because of the dollar. But electrical thing like the cable, like the whole 1.5 with the sell right now at 550 and the 2.5 right now they sell at 650 and at 750. We will blame governments because they're not able to do any issue against towards the businessman there. Because subsidy for the at least wait for you to use the money with the businessman there, we don't able to control price for you. Well, there is no price control because the businessman then they do things way they want for do because then they go buy with the money when they come, it's want for do and they do. And government they able to work with them. Because if government they work with them, when they can they able to see and lease together, then do things together and they able to know the price we don't able to put. If the businessman don't go buy, then you need to able to sponsor them for do anything. When you come now, your price they put and now your capital they use.
All right. Well, that's now voice of different trader them where we reporter them been go around for talk to where them be the new prices them or the different in
at an interest rate of 7% when prices of trade and goods. So waiting not happen like I mentioned before with mostly the construction materials or the construction sectors. Cement price, the clinker globally, most of it comes from Turkey, don't go up. The freight cost for bring and Kana Salon, it don't go up. Whenever we get a challenge in terms of the supply chain, like I mentioned, forget vessel, forget ship for come. We get people them, this is where we as a ministry, we realize that we need to do a little bit more. We get people awake and want to take advantage of the situation. So let's explain what's in the supply chain like.
Okay, so before you explain, you make mention of the thing that way una don't do for actually solve the problem, especially the money for phone and all.
Yes.
So what's not the impact way una sense with all that una do?
Oh, the economy is still functioning and business still they go on, even though yes, some prices of certain goods then go up. But the economy they run. And people then they able to live their lives.
The economy they run, but this one we say they run, it get to be favorable to that ordinary salon citizen for letting himself feel I'm like say yes, I get a stable economy where they run in my country. But you talk to most of the citizens, for example, the voices that will just hear one of the concern wey dem raise na the inflation. The dollar wey dem dey use for go buy some of them things them count na the country, then they grumble say it dey go up every day. So this economy we say they run, in which sense you mean am?
Absolutely, Khadija. We never, as the world dey right now, we all know say we get for tie or tight. We get for belt up. It's not gonna be easy. We therefore had to we all the resilient nature of Sierra Leoneans, how we don't fit them. I mean, let's do a comparative analysis of what they happen to we brother than in Liberia. Almost then they buy certain goods there, almost then they pay for certain goods there, waiting they happen there, equally waiting they happen at Guinea. I mean, with the talk about the inflation, yes, we have had from 10.2 to 10.5, almost percentage increase than they. Let we look with America, we injected over $8 trillion into the economy.
You compare the economy then with that of Saloon.
It is good for us to have a global picture. We live in a global world. We must have a global perspective. Then get inflation. Other bigger economies also challenge and all. What thing we they say is, we they try as a country, we they try as a nation, as a Ministry of Trade, we they make sure say we they try. Khadija, we don't pull most of the duties them per essential commodities. Rice, nobody need to pay duty, it's zero. Flour, nobody need to pay duty, it is zero. We don't reduce corporate.
They pay duty.
We don't.
But then they pay duty,
so,
Mr. Conjo, but still prices then they go up on
agreed. So we need to do a detailed diagnostic. We need to do a detailed audit. Let we ask ourselves introspectively, because we want for what are the try for sure now waiting governments don't do, because people they say governments
so
not
we
do.
Need to do
now, let me just finish on this point. On essential commodities, NRA only they take 12% of its contribution, because we don't pull all the tax them around this.
So what are the problem here? Because if government they pull all the taxes on essential commodity then, but then same commodity then the way people they use on a daily basis, they go up every blessed day. So what are the problem now?
Beautiful. Yuna Uma Wege says. So let we look at the supply chain. So the one way where they import, they bring and come. We get people and when at the dealer them. Where they take from this person, it go wholesale. Then it get to the retailer there. In between, we get transporters them. All of them people here, they put them price there up. Then we get the people them back again, where they clear. Then not to them bring goods. Then are just on the invoice value. Then say all man get in percentage, all man get in charge. At the end of the day, when the businessman he not can here for make charity, he can for make business. Where he mark up all waiting he don't spend, the price they go up. So waiting we they do now currently is to understand how we get for remove some of them people here where they in between. So we are saying to people like the major importers, get as much outlet as possible. If not this you they bring and come out. As wholesaler no left no money free tongue. As importer no left no money free tongue. Take this go. Nabo, take this go now. So we, in the next few weeks, you will see more outlets, bigger warehouses, where people will start having prices from a wholesale perspective, and it will stabilize. Because once you get somebody we can take I buy flour 280. It tell me say I don't pay transport. Even when we talk with the transporters, say now 3,000 no more than go add for wherever you they go in this country.
Your explanation, Mr. Conjo, it seems easy.
No.
So why the ministry they implement all them theory there where they explain?
No, it not seem easy, Khadija, because we they deal with mortal man them. And the average Sierra Leonean and person where we just want for do the most of every situation where we find ourselves. Now we will get this difficulty, and some man just want gentry. Even some people that we have agreements with, where we say now this for being level of production. Business person, where this now you for do. Well, you know, now someone no one abide by them. So we are enforcing a bit more. Right. We are being more stringent. And you now go see. In the next few weeks, it will be different by God in power.
We'll come back to you, Mr. Conjo.
The program now Good Morning Salon, where they come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. They go to our next studio guest, Thomas Moore Conteh, we are the Executive Director for Citizens Advocacy Network. They also for talk about the cost of living, especially for advocates, for citizens, them, how this they affect them. You don't listen to the person will come up from the Ministry of Trade, it all explain some of the reason them where they cause the inflation as alone and where the goods and they come and the people them they make them price for themselves due to transportation and other causes. So let me look at the free market economy where I be ask just no but what do you think about where people are just free for do it in a one for do just because that then they determine price for themselves?
Yeah, well, I feel say the ministry still able for come out clear and tell me why the goods then our market go at a very high rate, even with all the exemptions the way they give. We live in a free market economy, I agree. But it's very, very much difficult for the everyday man to understand why, even with the tax exemption where they put, or let's say the waiver where they give on people where they import rice, but we still get the rest price they go up. Today the rest price, one bag rice is about 300 and going to 350 or so. It's very, very much, and that is where I feel say the Ministry of Trade need for actually double effort, because there is no reason for the Ministry of Trade exist if we continue to get the challenges that we get in the market every day. We still continue to get traders, the milk, the common people. We still continue to get the prices of goods. They go up every day, astronomically. We get the condition of living of people that they continue to depreciate as the clock they tick. So as civil rights activists, they follow AYV, then do Vox Pop. Even the market woman and they complain. You go inside market today, you go inside Abacha Street today, you hear them Abacha woman, and they complain about how even when they go for go buy, they retailers, they get challenges. And they need for make profit. How the economy don't tight for them. How they find it even difficult for feed them families. So it's a very dicey situation where I feel say it therefore be a cross-sectorial issue then for deal with. Both from the finance ministry, bank governor, ministry of trade, what have you. Not a knee-jerk approach that we need. Approach the way they reach it today, today T-Dot comes to them and go, say, okay, we pull $100 million, we share to people and then go sell it. That approach they're not sustainable, they know they help the economy for go, they only continue for heap unnecessary burden on we. Or because you notice say the economy is not doing well, you say you want to change the currency to 1,000 loans for 1,000. These are things where I feel say not they help in boosting or changing the lives of people in any way. But they continue for heap unnecessary burden on people as we don't see them already.
Mr. Conjo been talk about some of the short-term measures them would then be implemented, especially term where the COVID being done at the world, where many country economy then be get challenged. You talk about the money then being given to the Bank of Salon being given to the Ministry of Trade for give to trader them at a low cost of 7% interest rate. All them money then they would then pump into the economy just for cushioning some of the challenges them where able to get at the end then they. You think say that been good strategy them at that time?
It was a very good strategy, I must say. But you have to ask the impact which such a strategy will create. You have hundreds of thousands of traders at the country. Hundreds of thousands of traders at the country. How many traders that particular project they able for impact? And how much you going for actually turnover? We talk about sustainable policies. Over and above giving somebody bread for it, give them 1 million, 2 million. Create the enabling environment to make that man able to fend for himself and he gets us sustainably. We know that Corona caused challenges. We know that the business community was hit seriously by the effect of Corona. And we know that government do cash transfers to business people for help them in this period of Corona. But over and above that particular cash, because how many people, if you ask them, they will tell you, they don't for even impact 1/3 of this business community. We have a lot of business people who go without even knowing that this project was even going on. Few, handful, drop in the water. Even though, yes, we appreciate that, but let we get a society, let we get an environment, a business climate that will be very open for all and where every businessman go able for go buy good, go na market, sell, get in profit, and where they go na for go buy the consumers, we know we get the effect of things the way they go up na the market.
This, Mr. Moore Conteh, this government campaign under the platform of the bread and butter issue, making life for the citizens them will be very easy if them kind of power. Then don't win the elections and then they rule the country. Now, this campaign promises on the bread and butter where them be make with all waiting they happen. So now the area of price increase and difficulty where some of the citizens then say then they get. You think say they're able to deliver on the area of the bread and butter?
It is far from that. Government is far from delivering on the bread and butter. And that is where we are very concerned as activists. If the people cannot boast of that basic food for dinner and table for it, go to market, you forget buy you food and go feed your family. How many families there in this country right now for get 3 square meal a day, eat for 3 times a day? Some families even they find it difficult forget the one for day, forget even the one way they get for day. How nutritious is it? You therefore even stretch because of the kind of hard conditions that you face at the market. So we feel say government gets a duty for actually do things that we will boost the economy. This not only for do the Ministry of Trade, I must say. We have a lot to do because the Ministry of Trade in work will be simpler if we get an environment that is investor friendly. We will create more jobs, we'll do more production as we be getting in the past. We don't continue to get increment in the price of fuel within a short time. We don't get increment in the price of fuel where you don't heap unnecessary burden on people. I understand one of the factors that make the past administration get issue with IMF now because at a time when the country economy was in serious peril, IMF suggests that this country government for increase prices of fuel or for pull subsidies. Government they pay subsidies. Let people understand this. Government they pay subsidies for every liter of fuel which anybody they buy. And that subsidies here so now they make when they buy fuel today 15,000 for a liter or 20,000 for a liter. But when you get IMF, when international organizations where they support government, they bring them conditionalities and follow support you on this area, increase fuel on this. It make the living conditions of the people they become hard. In the past administration, one of the factors we make IMF left Sierra Leone or they get pulled with the past administration, and say because they ask them for raise price per fuel. The past administration say no. We cannot do it because if we raise price per fuel now, every other commodity in price they go up. And we already coming from Ebola. In the midst of Corona, where people are not they do business they don't close. But come they work, the tourism industry don't close. And people they do production don't close. They don't raise price per fuel about 2 times or 3 times. That is very insensitive. And these are all of the factors that cause all the hardship people get in the country.
Continue for the week the program. Moore Conteh, Executive Director for the Citizens Advocacy Network.
The program Good Morning Salon, they continue. We still get Moore Conteh, the Chief Director and Professional Head na the Ministry of Trade, where they also for talk about the cost of living of the people, especially where the price of things they go up na the market. One big concern also from people na the fact that where price can don't go up, they come down again, actually this stable. So as Minister of Trade, you don't talk about so many policies them where they embark on. Waiting actually they do about this particular issue where price of products don't come up, actually they go down.
Dollar yesterday now be 11,400. They don't come down today.
So waiting.
So in the parallel market, to 10,100 in the parallel market. In the parallel market, just as an example, I mean, we don't get fuel, we don't go up to a day, we don't come down no to 7,000. Yes, it is true that sometimes the picture can look like where the price
so even where the dollar can come down, the price and still remain the same.
No, but in some instances, that's why I'm giving instances of other product. In some instances, we don't see
other product already can down.
Yes, we don't see. So I just cite fuel for example. I don't cite rest, for example, with the price can down. Okay, we don't go to 350 in certain brands there. It come back to 310. I mean, the data's they're all there, you know. But what thing we really need for do now, that's just one that we focus on. Now that we get for look inwards, okay. Plenty of the thing that way they use, like I mentioned in the start, we are dependent on other people to bring them in. We get for see inside what they do. So, like my brother said, a concerted effort, now a sector coordination, collaboration approach. It not go happen one time. We done the plant. We not go see all things go one time. We the beg with people them. We not say tough. We not say hard, but we all get for tie or jata it for let we do things then together. In certain side the way people and see say thing not they go right. Let them just bring and come to we attention, bring and come to we notice. We not go able for the all side all the time. Because we get bad people that we can really want to take advantage of a given situation. All right? So, and that one, they affect the business. Example, simple example. I don't buy the load. The transporter go boss me cement. It boss me rest. The ribaga. We don't catch people the way they do that one day. You understand? So even the final thing where you do go pay for, you not reach the quantity where you pay. So all that issue then they. Take an example again, the common person at the market, we can just decide to normally do. But what they do currently, we're working with the Ministry of Finance. We're doing an essential commodities regulations. We will come out very soon. With that one day, we believe say go seemingly help we pan this.
As the professional head of the Ministry of Trade, don't they see different index them where they come out apart from statistics alone they own? The National Grand Coalition self can do them price index, so then they gonna market them, ask for different prices, them compile a report and publish them for let the public see. And the statistics alone the own consumer price index show say inflation day. And August just done, we don't start September now. From the Ministry of Trade with all on our own analysis and statistics themselves where on get. Waiting on the project, things go get better or we still they go up in terms of prices?
We not say in certain prices we go remain stable. In other prices, in other commodities rather, we go remain stable. In other commodities, we go see a slight increase. Because, like I mentioned, some of them we not get control over. And it's just the reality. Because the freight costs then continue for increase for certain products, the transportation costs for get the vessel for bringing them come. But waiting we don't do, again, they say waiting we don't do, is that we don't project as to waiting our needs as a country. We don't improve on we stock order levels. We don't improve on we procurement level. Let's just give a scenario with waiting happen in Liberia. Liberia been get this delay. Say then they wait for no if price go come down and this that. By the time then they make them up their mind for buy the businessman and it took them 6 months.
So
and now in Liberia a bag of rice it's at $51 US. $51 US. So if you not don't predict, if you not don't plan, you get caught up. So but we have put in motion a plan for working with our major businesses for ensure say we not get any disruption.
The wrap up the program, Mr. Conteh, as a way of assuring the people who they listen to you out there from the Ministry of Trade, things say things go get better or it will get worse, then it gets better.
We always hope say things go get better, and we work towards that.
Mr. Moore, quickly, Mr. Conteh, assure the listeners that out there say from the Ministry of Trade, they hope say things will get better. And UNASEF don't they work around issues them will get for do with concerns where they come out from the citizen. And the area of price increase, now one of the concerns then now with the citizen they talk about. The assurance so Mr. Conteh don't give, you think say realistic looking at how things they happen at the moment?
Well, the people not to assurances the people want again. What the people want now are practical measures them. We will put food on the table. If not assurances, Saloma will eat. Like by this time we all buy food with assurances. But we don't get assurances. We don't more time we see how they can better. So what we ask for now, the living conditions of the people are very poor. We want government to actually be sensitive to the issues they are so, and ensure that they implement policies we will change the tone of event. Because we cannot continue to be in a state where even that bread and butter is a challenge. What you will talk about the other areas. So we feel say it is very much important. So Mr. Conteh and government, we don't get enough assurances. One for begin see practical things when I do for we.
By God in power.
Citizens they want. A
By
lot
God
of
in
people they
power.
go to bed hungry. A lot of people they live below $1 in fact. And that is very, very much serious for a country and a system that has promised the people all the goodies during the elections. And we have very limited time to elections now. And if we still getting challenges there, so we try to hope that we will get a change in the tone of event. We know we'll continue to get things, then they become worse as the clock they tick.
All right. Thank you very much, Thomas Moore Conteh, Executive Director for the Citizens Advocacy Network, and Emmanuel Conteh, Chief Director of Trade from the Ministry of Trade and Industry. We'll be talk about the living condition and the prices of different in them where they go up in the markets. Now, they end the program. Good morning, Salon for today in edition. ADJ Lava give technical support. Moses Kavora and Usman Kamara. And they make on our watch we live now Facebook page. Mina Khadija Bangura, they wish you all a blessed day.
And don't forget to listen to a midday show program at 12, Salon News at 7 p.m. and waiting they be at 9 o'clock na net. So till next time, Mina Waniga Ojade say bye-bye.